All right, our next guest has been on our show before. He's an actor, producer, an activist recognized for his roles on That 70s Show, NCIS, Handy Mandy, and the popular Disney animation Encanto, which I love. He has a really giving heart and has partnered with Red Nose Day to help end child poverty. I am so excited to welcome back to the show the talented Wilmer Valderrama to Sidewalks. Wilmer, yay, I'm so glad you're here.
Thank you, very happy to be with you again.
Yeah. Oh my God, first of all, I'm so thankful to connect with you on so many levels. Congratulations on your career, your success, and your family, the baby and Amanda. I'm so excited for you guys.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, we're very happy.
I could imagine it must be a really busy household. with the baby.
A lot going on. There's definitely a lot going on, but we're very happy for the white noise of reality, you know?
Yeah, I was just going to share that I just had my second baby. Literally, he's outside my door. He's only like 3 weeks old. My husband's like, all right, I'll watch. You got like 10 minutes. I'm like, all right.
So fun. Cool.
Yeah. So, and I know that it must be like, it's crazy juggling career and family. So for you, what's it been like now that you've, been turned dad and still doing your career?
I think a lot of people warned me that everything was going to change and say goodbye to this and say goodbye to that. But, I for any new parents out there, I'd like to offer that it really truly is about perspective, and it's about your personal perspective and not the perspective that others put on your soon-to-be journey. And I think about a lot about, what Amanda and I have decided to really do is just kind of see it for what we'd like it not only to be, but intentionally move towards that scenario. And what I mean by that is, you kind of embrace it, you kind of lean into it, and nothing changes, it just evolves. And you go into a different version of yourself, someone that's been there waiting for this moment. And I think as you become and embody that person even more, it's it's the greatest level of, of understanding and self-empowerment when you think about that you can do this and you can pull it off. And it's empowering to get your hands in the game and making sure that it goes the way that you want it to.
Yeah. I love it. Your Nakano is so adorable, by the way. I want to squeeze her. Well, I just wanted to actually touch on a little bit about, your career when you started before we get into Red Nose Day. Looking back for you, before you got into your big break, do you remember kind of what sparked your interest in acting, or was there like a moment you're like, oh, okay, I think I want to do this?
Yeah, I think when I was really young, when I was 6 years old, I lived in a very small town in Venezuela, and there was not much to do, so what I could do is just get involved in school activities, so I was always singing, dancing, and acting. I only did it for fun. And I think there was this one play I did where I only had one line, but I just worked really hard on that line. And as soon as I walked on stage and I said my line, I got this crazy laughter from the audience, and I feel that energy. And I just said to myself, wow, this feels good. This feels right. And I just followed that sentiment, and I made sure that it was fun every time I went on stage, and I found myself working a lot, and now almost 30 years of a career.
Oh my goodness. That's so crazy. And it's always interesting to hear people's stories about why they, got in. Because it's really an interesting industry and a tough industry, and you really have to have the resilience to kind of continue and keep going.
You do. You got to have your head on straight. You have to have a really grounded 2 pair of feet. You have to really, really be grounded on the ground and really understanding the why you're doing it. Because new definitions of why you're in the game come in, and then it drifts you for what's important about what you love.
Yeah. And I love that you really embrace, that, your career and the family, your values of family.
Thank you.
Did you? Yeah. And I'm wondering because, like I said, this career is a really, it's a tough industry to be in. So I'm wondering, did your family support you in your career and your direction?
Yeah. They support me incredibly much. And even when I was a kid, the only condition was that I had to have really good grades in order for me to give it a try. And as I went on, I think I mean, for almost 15 years of my career, I feel like my family was so unaware of the impact of what I was up to. You know, they thought I was still doing a high school play this entire time, you know.
Yeah.
But I think there's something endearing and grounding about that. And it was a very humbling experience just to see it through my parents' eyes and knowing that, um, knowing that that it was going to be a journey and that I had them by my side. But yeah, they definitely supported me.
That's awesome. Obviously, because coming from a Latina family myself, our families always were super connected, and they're always involved. And they're like, "Hey, make sure make sure you're doing okay. Make sure you eat." Like,
For
okay,
sure.
I'm doing that. So, I totally get that family dynamic. So, I'm wanting to know also, about the work that you do as an activist, because it's really inspiring to see, all the work that you've done and that you're very active in certain areas outside of the entertainment field. And you're giving time back to the Red Nose Day cause. Can you tell us a little bit about Red Nose Day? You've partnered with them.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's very close to me, and I've always known about the red nose, and I've always participated just for fun, But Walgreens Red Nose Day is a fundraising campaign run by a nonprofit organization called Comic Relief US. They dedicated, to help end the cycle of child poverty and ensure a healthy future for all children. And I just love that it's a cause that is driven by one of our biggest loves, which is our children, and I think about, the pandemic, and the toll that it took on not just families, but on children. This campaign is an 8-year-old campaign, and the last 2 years has been a digital nose campaign, the red nose campaign. And this is
that's right.
exclusively, we're back in stores. So now you can go to any store, and for $1, you can get this really nice, by the way, a very nice red nose. It's actually it's like super legit, not gonna lie. And you can by donating $1, and I think if not, then you can donate anything you can in store or online. It's very cool. It's very cool. Donations are also accepted online, like I said, so you can go to walgreens.com/Red Nose Day, which unlocks also a red nose filter, and you can use the filter on Facebook or Instagram, and you can still participate from your home.
Yeah, I mean, that's great. I mean, I will still donate no matter what, whether I get a red nose or not. I think it's important to always contribute to a cause like that. Like, you know what I mean? A red, green, purple, I'll wear it.
Yeah.
I mean, and for you, I'm wondering, what does it mean for you partnering with them? Like, having been involved with this, what does it mean?
I've always seen some of my friends, being part of the campaign in the past, and I've seen, I've seen people really kind of embrace it, and I just love, I love what it stands for. I love the subject matter. And I think a lot of people forget, how incredibly impactful this campaign can really be. And how effortless it is for you to be involved. So I was excited to jump on the campaign and remind people what it really is about. So when you go out there, you proudly get your nose and you know what it's about. But when you come home with this nose, it's joy for the whole family, I will say.
Yeah. The kids will love it too, I'm sure.
100%.
Well, really quick before I let you go and switching gears, I kind of wanted to talk a little bit about some projects that you've been involved with. I mean, you got a podcast, and I think it's called Essential Voices, and I wanted to know, like, what inspired you to create that podcast?
Well, Essential Voices is available anywhere you get your podcast. And it's a podcast I created really early on. I started it in my Instagram. I started doing this 6 feet it was a hashtag, right? So it was like 6 feet apart chats. And it was these conversations that I was having on my Instagram with essential workers. And I realized how little did we all understand about what our essential workers go through, So ultimately, I created this fun, space where we can have these conversations and understand more about what it was like before, what it was like during the pandemic, and now as we look forward to normality again, or some version of reality again. How can we be there for them and continue to appreciate what they've done for us through the last not just a pandemic, but through the decades and decades of essential, work they've had on our families and cities and just the world in general. So that was ultimately a sentiment to basically encourage us to never forget.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love that you did that. It's so important to like get their voices heard in that way. So that's amazing. And then I also hear you might be taking on an iconic role. Zorro? What does this mean to you? You're taking on this legendary role.
Yeah, no, it's a dream of a lifetime, right? I mean, since I was a little kid, at 7 years old, I told my father I was going to be Zorro. And now I'm full circle at a moment in my career where I'm entering this next chapter. I'm going to have the privilege and the honor to be the next with the mask, and it's exciting. And Disney and I are all systems go right now, and we're in full development and excited for the time that comes that you guys get to see the next generation Zorro.
That's awesome. I think you make an amazing Zorro. I feel like you're perfect for the part. So.
Thank you very much. I'm excited to have fun with this. It'll be a good time.
Yeah, charming and also strong and just a kind heart as well. So it's a perfect all around for you. Well, I wanted to thank you so much for spending time with me today, talking with us. I hope one day you and Amanda, we get together, have the kids come play.
Absolutely. We got to plan on that.
Yeah, I have so much respect for you guys, and I miss Amanda. Please give her a hug.
I will.
Give her a hug for me.
Sure.
She's one of the loveliest humans on earth, definitely. I'm so glad you guys are.
She's very special. She's very different and very special.
Yeah. I love that you call her Chimichurri. I hope I can ask that. Where did that come from?
It's very easy. It was very simple. I met her parents for the first time, and they made chimichurri steak that day. And I was like, imagine if I just named you chimichurri. And she's like, no, you're not. I was like, well, the end. That's it. Chimichurri it is. It was very simple.
Love it. I love it. Hey, you got to have fun with that. I love it so much.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Oh, well, Wilmer, thank you so much for joining us today. Much continued success to you. And please come back and let us know what you're up to. We love to hear all the stuff that you're doing over here.
Absolutely. And I'll shout out to everyone who watches you and enjoys your show. And until next time.
All right. Thanks to our guest, Wilmer Valderrama, for joining us on that interview. It's time for me to take on my other job, being a mom. We got more Sidewalks entertainment coming your way in just a moment. Woo-hoo. Okay, time to eat.
For more full-length celebrity interviews, visit us at sidewalkstv.com, our YouTube channel, and don't forget to follow us on social media.